Hello, BDL Advisor clients, second week of February 2023. The last few years have been difficult, right? We had the pandemic, markets go down, central banks come in, print money, basically providing liquidity. Markets go back up quite a bit, if you remember that. Then we get too much liquidity, creates inflation. Then what do? They squeeze off liquidity, raise interest rates. What happens? Capital markets decline, bonds and stocks equally almost. It was a really rough year in 2022. But look at the end of last year. Last quarter of 2022 was pretty good. I'm telling you, the news was at its worst. The gloomsters and the doomsters were out in force, trying to scare the daylights out of you, weren't they? January was one of the best Januaries on record. We don't know where this is going. We don't know how it's going to end. But sticking with the plan is really important. And the main thing that's important is not panicking. And sometimes you have to have an orderly retreat. And I'm going to give you a historical analogy that explains that perfectly. Napoleon Bonaparte, June 14th, 1800, the Battle of Marengo. It's in northern Italy. He's losing the battle. He even said, I'd lost the battle at 5 o'clock in the afternoon and then won it by 7. That's not exactly how it worked out, but close enough. He is losing. The Austrians then get overconfident. Okay. The Austrian commander, his name is Melas. He actually left the field towards the end of the battle thinking he'd won. He actually said, yeah, you clean this up. I've won. Not so fast, right? Napoleon has a reserve nearby. He had actually sent General Desaix to another part of the battlefield, but the roads are soggy, so a little luck helps too. Not too far away. Desaix comes back, sends in a division, and Desaix is actually killed in leading this counterattack. However, it's successful. Napoleon classically does what he always does. Then he concentrates other forces and has a fabulous victory, one of his most famous victories. I put a link in here. There's a famous painting that I think is interesting. It's by Louis-Francois Lejeune. It's in the Palace of Versailles, I think the museum there. It's in the public domain, so I can put it in this email. So take a look at that, and then that'll link you on to read about the battle if you want. If you have any questions about anything we talked about, I'd love to discuss it with you. I've also got, obviously, some educational material about the last few years in these capital markets. Again, we're higher than where we were a few years ago. All this stuff, all the doom and gloom, oh well, that's the way it goes. If you have any questions about your account allocation, what we're doing strategically, love to hear from you. Or if you want to talk about the Battle of Marengo, I'd love to share my experience. I actually went to the battlefield about 4 years ago and went and saw it. It's very interesting. Love to hear from you. As always, we really appreciate you. Thank you.